Hello, everybody. Just want to welcome you to the coverage of the final round MPO of the Summer Meltdown at Crooked Creek 2017. I just want to take a second to thank our sponsors, Columbia Disc Golf Club, for being our title sponsor this year and donating the money to make this a B-tier event. Also, Amazing Athletes and Andrew Nelson chipped in to be one of our many hole sponsors this year. Affordable Medical Equipment with Brandon Carpenter also helped us out. James Hardy of Hardy Siding, making the fiber cement boards. Then Palmetto Roofing Exteriors, specializing in roofing, siding, and gutters, a local company based out of Columbia, South Carolina. Bunch of great guys there. Really shout out to Soda City and all the guys there who helped pitch in to help make this possible. ABC Supply Company, who donated some of the raffle prizes, especially the Yeti cooler, which was awesome. Then Saul's Disc Golf Store, go check those guys out. They donated some really cool CTP prizes. River Printing and Design did all the shirts as well as all the paper printing for the event this year.
Hole one's a par 3, 163 feet. You got a tight gap on the right. It's open on the left, sloping green. Ben, you're expecting a 2, but with that fast green, 3s aren't uncommon on this hole.
Yeah, it's an easy one that you can, if you're throwing that forehand especially, you can skip down the hill and it can get away from you a little bit. Interesting thing on this hole is Alan Beaver and Matt Peckham were not here when we were teeing off. So right before Duane throws here, we had to wait the 30 seconds for them to take their throw. So he kind of got iced on the tee pad there.
Greg Cole's lining up that sidearm. Looks like a pit, maybe a pig.
I think he's throwing a Thunderbird. It's either Thunderbird or Sexton Firebird. He throws both of those a lot. You see that downhill skip you're getting there that kind of takes you away from the green there.
Definitely not a pig.
Duane lining up his super lofty putt.
Josh Day. It's cool to see Josh again. He's from Columbia, but he works at Innova up in Rock Hill. Super solid player. Real nice guy. Some good twos.
So hole 2, we were talking about this one earlier. It says it's 311. Plays like it's like 360. It's a full rip on a mid-range, even though it's pretty far downhill. There's OB just short of the creek.
That looked OB. That looked like it didn't go over.
Yeah, it did end up in the creek just short. I think he hit the far side and kind of kicked back.
Greg throwing something a little low, a little left.
Didn't quite turn it over like he wanted to. Got a favorable tree to avoid the OB down there.
Duane lining up his good sidearm.
I throw a sidearm,
flip.
but this is a tough sidearm hole because it looks like it plays for a sidearm, but it's really easy to punch it deep or get caught up on the left-hand side like he did there.
Yeah, it's a very strange angle the way the creek runs.
Josh gave that a great run to try to save his circle 3.
He's a magician with his putter, man.
Greg coming out, little putter shot across OB. Nice little up shot.
Duane lining up his birdie. Nice.
Getting that putter warm early. So still in this hole, Alan Beaver and Peckham haven't made it to the tee pad yet.
So they are taking par +4 for these two strokes.
Yeah,
these two holes.
you'll see they're both at +8 for the round so far. But they're both really good. You'll see them make some progress back up here. This is actually where they showed up as we're stepping on the tee pad here. They actually came back up and showed up. So this is playing as a par 3 in the shorter position. So it's plays as about 350. So not a really. I know we're playing across the road in this layout. That's right. So this is a par 4 here. So the play typically is just a layup to try to go across because the road here does play as OB, and there's a lot of OB up near the basket.
Yeah, I went for the eagle on this hole, and I ended up finding the OB.
So this is Alan Beaver's warm-up. You're seeing his entire warm-up for the round right here.
That's Hall of Fame member Alan Beaver.
Mr. 1213. Leaving out a little bit wide, but he gets back into the center cut. And this is Peckham and Day starting off their back and forth on their first hole together. Peckham taking that aggressive inside route, catches a tree, flexes back, ends up across the road. He's got to look for his
That was a great shot.
eagle.
I think the long position on this hole plays at least 430, 420.
Duane just trying to turn that over and just never got it over enough. Hyzered into the OB. Allen ends up with the same kind of thing. He just doesn't get it quite turned enough, and it just kind of stalls out into those trees and lands in that OB area.
Yeah, being on the left side as a lefty, it's a weird angle.
Somehow, Greg lands in the middle of that OB there and trickles back in bounds.
Just a little jump putt. Think he was going for that one? You think he was just laying up?
I think he was laying up for that one. I talked to him on the tee pad. He said, I'm playing this one for a 3, get my easy birdie, and keep moving. He's like, I got to lead. There's no need in trying to push right now. Especially with second place taking 8 strokes on the first 2 holes.
That's a good point. Yeah, this is pretty much Josh's tournament to lose at this point.
Yeah. See how you can see his disc there. That's about how far inbounds it was. He had about a foot to spare. He just barely trickled back in, but got a good roll and saved his birdie there.
Hole 4. It's a short little par 3 tunnel shot up the hill. You are throwing from OB, so if you hit those trees and fall in that creek, you're going to a drop zone. Oh, that's a sneaky little snake of a shot.
Yeah, he got it through there. He got him up where he can get a putt. Not what he was looking to do, but it'll play.
Josh lacing one as usual. Oh, that's a little short.
Peckham getting up there. Nice little ramp off that stump there right up to the basket.
Stump is my nemesis.
It could definitely knock you down and stop a good shot. And then Duane again just not turning it over. And he stayed in bounds, but he was about a foot and a half off that OB line, so just barely staying in.
Throwing a shot.
He wanted to hook up a little bit sooner, but
pin high,
still gets him inside the circle.
Yeah, pin high, 20 feet. Can't be mad at that.
Not with the way he plays.
Greg. Oh, splash out.
Nice run.
Josh lining up his 2.
Should be a no-brainer for him.
Such a good putter. I think that's the strength of his game.
Yeah, he definitely is a very, very good putter. He did not miss many the entire round. Spoiler alert, my bad.
Peckham cleaning up.
You can see there where Duane and Peckham were stacked on top of each other making minis from their drive and approach shot. So, a couple pars, a few birdies. About what you expect on that hole.
Hole 5. This is a funky little par 3. You've got an inside, maybe lefty Anheuser lane, and an outside Heiser lane. The creek or a road that kind of meanders through the fairway that plays as a creek.
Yeah. We actually get a look at most of the different shots. So you're going to see 2 lefties take that inside turnover route. And so that's what Peckham's throwing here is the inside turnover. It's hard to see the disc because it's so bright out there. You can see he just got inside, flexed that a little bit. And that should get him up there across the road looking at a putt.
Yeah, he was 20 feet the day before when I played with him. He's got this hole dialed in.
So Beaver taking the same route. Looks like he turned it a little bit too much. So he's going to put it down at the bottom of the hill down there.
Maybe by that electrical box.
Yeah, I think he made it across the road again, but he's down in that area.
Okay.
And Greg, a little early, but oh no, there it is. He actually got a really good pull on this one and a good skip at the end. So I think this puts him up there right by the basket. So he's looking at his birdie putt.
Duane, every time I play this hole with Duane, he talks about how he aced this hole once.
We actually did have one ace on this hole in the tournament. Ben Gossett aced it on his very last hole to split the ace pot with his brother, Mike Gossett, who aced 12 on day 1.
Beeve's got to look if he wants it. He didn't want it.
Didn't want it enough. You got to make sure you get it up. That's what's hard about his uphill putts is you got to commit extra. I think it's just those 2 guys just haven't warmed up because they didn't get to the course early to get their warm-ups in.
Yeah. Plus, they know they're not playing for first anymore. That's got to be affected their mental game at least a little.
At least a little. Josh just didn't want that one. Maybe he wanted that one a little too much, hitting that bogey band high. And
Greg's lining this one up. Greg's a solid putter.
Taking the lone birdie on that hole.
That's a great 2.
Great 2. Birdie doesn't always feel good, but this one feels especially good. This is a tough one to get.
Man, you're way better than I am. Birdie always feels good for me.
I like birdies, but I feel like birdie on this one is hard to come by. But
It's a very tough too.
yeah, there's some holes out here where you feel like you got to get, like hole 1, you feel like you got to get that hole.
Mm-hmm. Hole 6 is another funky hole. You expect to get a 2, but it's just such a it's trick shot. You're throwing this high hyzer on a steep angle. There's a Mando you got to make.
Yeah, it's a 160-foot hole, but it's one of the hardest holes to birdie on the course, I feel like.
Ooh, inside route.
Josh taking a little inside, made the Mando, though. He should still have a look from there. Peckham trying to follow that line. Gets around there clean. That should be all right.
These guys are not taking their time. Just showing us how it's done.
No. Peckham, especially, is really hard to film because somebody's walking off the tee pad. He's walking on the pad behind him and just keeps going as part of his throw.
You got that lit up tree you just want to miss.
Yeah, you just got to miss that tree and you're going to end up by the basket, but you got to play it close.
Well, now it's too wide. Duane saw AB's tight shot, overcorrected.
Duane's trying to pitch up around the corner so he can have a look at it.
It's such a treacherous hole.
Yeah, that left side, because you still got to make that corner because there's no clear route to the right-hand side that gets you to the basket. So you've got to go down that main fairway. And AB just laying down a roller, just trickling up by the basket, just curling right up there, right inside the circle.
Josh he's got a tight gap.
He's got a putt, but man, that putter's feeling good.
Oh man, I'm telling you, he's a magician.
Beaver cleaning up his par there, and then Greg's gonna come up here. This be his 2?
I think so.
I think so. Wow, that's a great 2. That's a great drive.
That's a fantastic drive.
Yeah, I'm a forehand dominant player, and I rarely ever get that close. That's a great shot, Greg.
Duane tapping in. Hole 7. I think this is my favorite hole in the course. It's easy, but it's an island hole. You got to get it just inside those timbers. It's maybe 10 foot by 10 foot little landing area.
Greg just gets unlucky. He hits the one tree that's on the short side of the island and just barely rolled OB. Josh
looking,
just throwing
if it can sit.
Beautiful shot.
Oh, yeah.
He's throwing an over mold disc. That thing ain't going nowhere.
It's the shot.
Just missing that tree, running it.
Just sailed it.
He touched that tree too and just kicked OB as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was a little short, hit that tree on the hyzer. But this green's really fast. It's hard packed down there. We can't do anything to grow on that area, so you've got to hit something soft. Good spin control is the only way to manage this hole.
Duane's Atlas.
Look at that.
Oh,
That's
pretty.
Hits that little backstop and stays on safe.
If you think the island hole at the USPGC is hard, you've never played this hole. Now you can't take a 9 on this hole like you might on the USPGC hole 17.
Right.
You can take. I've guy on my card took a 5. You know, he putted from the drop zone and then he got a bad roll and went OB.
You can roll off the backside of this island. It's very unfortunate when it happens, but it does happen. And then these guys are just clowning around with each other. They're finally starting to get warmed up and feel good and have fun on the bridge.
Duane almost went swimming.
Duane almost went swimming, if there was water. Not much rain lately enough to keep the water high, but when it does rain a lot, the river does get pretty high and goes all the way around this little island. So it is an actual island hole when there's water. And I didn't call it out in the tournament, but I'm going to call it out now. Duane Dowd, that is a foot fault. You've got to mark your lie before you move your disc.
Tell him, Ben.
What a chump move.
Tell him.
All right, moving on to hole 8. This is an odd little hole. We're playing to the basket that's up by the road. So from the tee shot, you're trying to play something straight, maybe finishes a little right, trying to get to that second fairway so that you can have an attack at the basket. Josh put that one up there. Looks like it might be a little bit too deep, but anything straight is going to be a great shot. Yeah, good little trickle.
He got the tight gap.
He might be in the right where you want to be. Duane going that big thumber route.
Duane's got, if there's one thing Duane can do well, it's throw a thumber.
And a roller. He's got a wicked roller game.
Greg throwing, looks like some sort of flex line, maybe a Firebird.
I think it's the same disc he threw on hole 1.
Thunderbird, maybe?
It's either Thunderbird or Firebird. looks like he's in the early gap. Yeah, so he made the early gap, which
there
is
is
tough.
There is a gap here. It's real tight. It looks like he hit it.
He's actually turns over, and I
Yeah.
lost it here, and actually rolls back all the way to the right-hand side.
He hit the gap, just didn't get the right movement on his disc.
Mm-hmm.
Duane, is he going over the cart path?
Yes. And
Well, he tried to.
and just didn't get it where he wanted it to. So Greg tried a tricky shot here because he's tight. He's actually going to have to throw it through the woods and turn it over, get it between that gap, and run it right up the basket.
That is a very good shot.
So Beaver is lining up the rarely seen 1-2-1-3 forehand. Got this turned over a little bit too much. Push the right-hand side.
He's in the grass. He's putting.
But he's back inside a circle. So Josh did push a little deep. He just had to pitch out of there from those cedars because they're jailing there.
It's a good upshot.
Good little upshot.
P2 shot.
Yeah, he should have a good easy putt from there. So this one here, the basket is kind of positioned a little close to OB. So if you are a spin putter or putt it too hard, you do run the risk of going OB. So Duane ran a good putt with his little loft putt, kept it in bounds.
Nice.
Beaver just draining
Solid
that putt.
inside the circle. You know, he doesn't hit too many from that 50-foot range, but his push putt inside the circle is just
He's not missing.
on point.
Greg just left out a little bit too short. He's thinking too much. Peckham cleans up. Looks like everybody else is just going to be cleaning up.
You know, Duane's thinking he's in prime attack mode with the strokes that Beaver and Peckham took.
Yeah, he's thinking he's got a chance, but he needs to have gotten those first early holes, and he's not gotten those, but there's still a lot of strokes out there, and Duane just needs to pick it up and do what he does. This is a course he's really good at.
Hole 9, this is a cool little hole. It's a par 4. You got to hit this gap. You really want to land where AB just landed, and anything to the left is just bonus. You just want to set yourself up for that second shot.
You got to hit this first gap so that you can look down the tunnel so you can play the big hyzer or turnover shot so you can attack the green. But anything straight to left is great.
Oh, I've never seen this before.
So this is where Duane throws down this wicked roller, and you can see it curls up there perfect, goes up a little mound, and goes down the fairway.
Wow.
Excellent roller shot. And then Greg here, this one hurt my feelings.
Greg, come on, man.
He did stay in bounds.
You're better than that.
But just barely.
Beckham's throwing a good shot. Just turned over.
A little early. So he's going to be short in the woods in that jail. So this is where Greg ended up. He's throwing a little out shot and just left it short again. So he still didn't make that corner.
Yeah.
So he's going on a roller, I believe, with his spark to try to get around that corner so he can have a look. He throws a nice little out shot. Looks like it's curling back in.
That's okay. I'll give him an angle.
Yeah, he's going to be in the edge there, but he should be able to save it.
That's really what you're looking at. This hole, if you take a 3 on this hole, it plays like an eagle.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a par, you're getting strokes on the rest of the open field.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a par 4, and it's a true par 4. You got to throw
That looked fantastic.
2 great shots. Yeah, that was a great shot. So Duane, his roller pushing tight on the right-hand side. So there's
another roller?
So the angle is kind of tough.
Oh.
If he'd have missed that tree, he'd have been cooking right into the basket. So Peckham's just throwing his big turnover because he was tight on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
So we got to the tee pad for them in the basket's the other direction.
I don't mind the fairway up until about 70 feet in front of the basket. I just think there's about 3 too many trees.
I think I agree with that. There could be a few trees going out of there, but it's a good little roll. So you see Duane's line up this little forehand down that tight gap.
Roller.
Roller. So
Interesting.
he took that tight roller gap and got up on the green. So Beaver's shot left him there. And Greg's left with this tricky little shot to try to get up and down. Not the line I thought he was going to take with it, but it worked out.
Yeah, I would think he would just have thrown a little jump putt.
So this is Josh's putts for birdie. Just cages out.
Birdie on this hole is so good.
Yeah, it almost plays more as a par 5, but it's marked as a 4 because it is threeable.
I'd say it plays like a 4, but it scores like a 5.
Okay, I'll agree with that. That sounds very accurate because 3s on here are rare, but somebody from about any division could get a 3 with 2 great shots. But they're rare.
Very. This is a cool little shot. You've got some trees in the middle you want to miss. You got a tight gap on the left, a more open gap on the right. I like to throw kind of a flippy putter on this hole. Make it kind of flip most of the way and just glide to the basket.
See, I throw a righty forehand with a comet here, just to a nice little turnover shot.
Okay, yeah, just anything that'll glide. Anything that'll glide and push a little left.
Yeah, you don't want it to skip too far because you can push that OB to the left side and long.
Yep.
So Duane's trying this turnover route like I throw here. He's throwing
maybe
a 10-year buzz here.
10-year buzz. Oh, wow.
And he just left it a little bit too right.
Yeah, looks like early release. Peckham, this is a good lefty hole.
He's throwing that turnover shot. That's
just a little.
That's what you're looking for, but just gotta miss that tree.
Yeah. Greg.
Going the hyzer route. That is looking pretty. That's a nice shot.
Great shot. You know, Peckham does the art for Innova up in Rock Hill, and
does he?
Yeah, and he was telling me that the stamps that they released around Worlds that they put on the strikes, the American flag, the U-shaped one.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they sold more discs with that stamp than they did of like many of the first run discs that they released this year.
Wow,
which is incredible.
That's great. And then you saw Day clean up his birdie, a couple birdie cleanups, and then a few par cleanouts there.
This is one of my favorite holes. You got a tunnel shot, well, not a tunnel shot, but it's a tight gap, and then it opens up into a field. You've got a baseball field to your left. You've got a path that plays OB a path on the left, baseball field on the right. I think the play is to throw something stable on Anheuser towards the OB on the right and have it just fade towards the basket.
Cole just turned this over a little bit too much, and he actually drifted out into that baseball field. There was a little bit of a left to right wind, and he just got on that flight blade and pushed it.
Yeah, if you play left, you're fading way downhill. So playing right is what you want to do, just like Josh.
Just like Josh did. He put it probably 15 feet past the basket, and depending on what kind of skip he got on the ground, he's good.
That was a little bit too right.
He was really far right, but like he said, he got out the gap, and that's really what you're looking for. If you can get your 3 on here, you're not feeling too bad about that.
Dwayne throwing a nice sidearm if it doesn't skip too much.
He was looking to turn that over a little bit. He just got it a little too far right. So this is Cole's approach after his OB stroke.
You want to land short on this one.
Yeah. Going long here can be treacherous because it's rocky and it's downhill.
Pinned it. That's a good miss.
Beaver just kind of laying it up there to the edge there. And then Peckham, you can see he's right at about that 60, 65 is what I would say he's at there. And he gives that a run and just cages that.
No fear.
No fear. And Dwayne's about the same distance, maybe a little bit closer, and makes the same run. And this is what you don't want to do.
Oh, no.
This is why this hole is so treacherous, because he just rolls and rolls.
Is that OB?
Rolls. He stayed in bounds, but you can see how deep he ended up in there. So basically, the only thing he can do is put it out there and try to get back up and down.
With that nose down putt with that low ceiling, he didn't have a chance to make that.
So where Josh ended up.
Josh, we've been bragging about you. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's the one he wanted.
He's got him to spare, though. He's already 5 under.
He's still in good shape. He's not taking bogeys. He's just getting his pars and birdies.
Hole 12, it's a par 3. I think this is the hardest easy hole on the course.
I think I agree with that, because it's one you're coming off of a tight tunnel shot on hole 11, and you really just think, all I got to do is throw a putter down there, no problem. But with it being slightly downhill, it's easy to turn it too much or hyzer it out.
Yeah, or throw it too high and not have your disc turn.
Yeah.
Or it's just, that gap is not big. That's maybe a 20, 25-foot gap, 320 feet down the fairway.
But anything that trickles down there, down into the flat down there, you're going to have a putt. But
that's looking good.
You can be obstructed.
Oh, no, it flexed. Just a little bit too stable.
A little too stable.
Looks like it finished pretty close to the pin, though.
He should have a putt. Dwayne going with that thumber. The other route, so he went to the right side of that tree, but it looks like he got a little rollout, so he should have a putt.
Yeah, it looks like he went past it before it crossed. So.
And Peckham was really fast there, so I missed his approach down there.
Dwayne's got to look, though. Was he 30, 35?
Yeah, right about that. He's actually putting downhill here. It's hard to tell.
Nice.
Just cans it. And then Greg from the left side over there.
Looks like he's got something in the way.
So he's going to be right at circle's edge here, too.
Hope that tree's not in his way. Beaver. Putting with probably a AVR or P1X.
Josh Day looking at his birdie.
I'm telling you, this hole, man, there's just enough on the green to keep you uncomfortable, and it's just hard enough of a shot. That par is really not a horrible score on this hole.
No, it's when you look at it on the score sheet and you're like, yeah, I need to birdie this hole, but then you step up to it and you throw that shot, you're like, man, this is a pro card, and there was one birdie. Lead card pro took one birdie on a sub 300-foot hole. So, stepping up here to hole 13.
Sidearm delight. It's about 340, just dead straight with some fade with a driver.
Yeah, that's all you're looking to do is get it down there. And Duane throws what looks to be a great shot.
Get through those trees. Go in. Oh. Also is good for lefties. Throwing something kind of fast.
Just got unlucky.
You want to be a little bit further left and finish into that gap. Kind of like...
Beaver turned it over a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It's going to put him on that right-hand side deep in the rough, and that's not where you want to be.
Josh throwing... Maybe like, oh no.
Little turnover shot.
Pro card not doing what they need to do on this hole.
No, they're not. Greg just took a little too tight.
This is a course that really challenges your backhand, your sidearm, your out shots, your mental game, when you need to throw outs, when you need to be aggressive. You know, most of these holes aren't super difficult to birdie, but if you get off that fairway, it's treacherous.
Like you can see Beaver, he's 15 feet off the fairway where you want to be, and he's in chest high.
That was a fantastic roller.
Great roller.
Didn't see it finish, but he's got a putt.
He's 15, 20 out.
Okay.
He ended up finishing right behind that tree there.
Okay. They say put it in or put it under. Matt, he put it under.
Put it under.
Josh didn't either. Come on, man.
And then Duane actually ended up long. I guess he got a counter skip. It was hard to tell, but he ended up 40 out almost.
He did almost ace it.
So,
And
just a nice little approach shot.
Beaver lining up his par.
Cans that one.
No doubt. I like his putt. No spin.
No spin, nice and hyzer. He's just going to put it on line and it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
These guys are just all cleaning up their pars. Greg threw a nice approach shot from where he ended up over there.
Yep. This is a tough hole. You know, it says 285 on the tee sign. It is uphill. It's more uphill than it looks on the video. I'd say it probably plays like 315, 320.
I would say so too.
But it's tight. That's maybe a 15-foot wide fairway.
It's a very tough forehand hole because it's really easy when you're throwing it that hard because you're not throwing anything but like a fairway driver at most. It's really easy to either turn it over too much or too little.
Did Josh almost try and skip AB?
Yeah, Josh took a bogey on the last hole and he's like, oh yeah, I'm second on the card, right?
Disrespectful.
So he wanted to make sure he got called out, so he stepped back to his rightful spot on the card. He was like, good, because I didn't want to have to throw a bad shot anyway. So jumping the card can always get you some bad karma, so make sure you're throwing in the right spot. And jump with stuff like this. So if you throw where you're supposed to, good disc karma.
Josh has just such consistent footwork.
Yeah, that nice, straight, long, late turnover shot is just perfect for this hole. Another rarely seen forehand from Beaver.
You know, this is just a course that tests every part of your game.
Yeah, you've got to have every shot in the bag to score well out here.
Except, I mean, you don't need a ton of distance, but I mean, you gotta be able to control your disc from start to finish.
Absolutely. That was a great putt by Peckham. Duane cleaning up his nice easy birdie there.
Great too.
Josh, you can see just put it there by the basket too. Easy two.
It's funny that there's more twos on 14 than 12.
Right. You would think that 12 is a much easier hole, much easier hole, and 14's a fairly difficult hole, but it
14, I feel like I birdie 14 more often because you kind of get in a rhythm and give it some oomph. Whereas 12, you're kind of finessing it. If it's a little bit of wind, I can get away from you. 15, we're looking at, this is a cool hole. So they're throwing Duane's lining up a sidearm flex line over this mound that you can see down here.
So the mound that's right here, the Mondo grass, you can see down there through the window. During rounds 1 and 2, the basket actually played on top of that mound.
It's chicken wing?
This is a chicken wing. So I was super excited when he was throwing this that I was going to get this on camera, and I'd never actually seen anybody throw it, but 3 feet higher and he gets down to the pin.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Maybe, yeah. So that disc he just threw, that stamp, that's the stamp I was talking about.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's a cool stamp.
Mm-hmm.
And so Beaver's lining up that backhand turnover.
He's got such good touch on his discs.
Just carrying, and that's right where you want to be. That's carrying over there towards that basket.
I think this is easier lefty hole because it's easier to control the turnover on this hole, for me at least, than it is to just throw something stable and just hope for the best.
Because if you're throwing that righty backhand, you're definitely pushing that woods line a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely throw the forehand turnover shot on this as well, just because of that, because it's easier to control it. Make sure you get that turn sooner.
Yeah, you get more glide to get over this mound.
So he's running that. Just put it a little long. He was probably 75, 80 out there. That's a long putt from where he was.
Duane, he's got...
Greg.
Greg's got a couple trees in the way.
Caught up on some rubbish.
That little one is a well-placed tree.
It's very well placed. Dade's cleaning up that birdie, making it look routine.
That was a much better putt than it looked.
Yes.
I like this vantage point. Are you on the mound?
Yeah, I'm standing up on the mound looking down at the hole from here, so you can see the elevation difference that it makes, because you have to get over that mound and then drop it down. You can see there's an OB road left, and a little fanboy back there, Mr. Chris Provo and Gino, spying in on everybody.
Ooh, a little high.
Top shelf action.
Snuck in though.
Makes it work. So, a few birdies, and I think everybody... Peckham and Cole missed this one, but everybody else wraps up their birdies. So, hole 16 is one of the most difficult holes on the course to even par, I think.
I actually birdied it twice this weekend.
Well, good for you. So, it basically plays as a giant U-shaped hole, so your tee shot typically is just going to be... and hopefully you can get it somewhere where you can approach the basket from there. But Josh is actually going for the big route, over the top, and trying to get it to turn back in there.
Very aggressive.
So he caught a little tree down there and kind of dropped himself down in the fairway late.
We did have only one competitor even had a look for 2 on this hole this weekend.
Yeah, Mr. Ryan Wirt, the same line that Josh Day just took, just got a little bit better lucky with it. So, good pull from Greg. That should get him down there where he has a look for something. Duane throwing a roller out there, trying to get back in position. Greg got a back skip and ended up on that right-hand side again. So, you can kind of see on the left side of the screen, there's the opening that's down there, kind of just keeps curling on around up there. And he's throwing a great roller shot out there. So, that's going to get him up in a position where he can look up that tight side back to the green.
This hole, I feel like a lot of people don't really understand how their discs react once they hit the ground. This is a hole where if you're not past that big pine on the left, you're really trying to throw a skip shot like AB's doing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people complain about this hole because they don't know how to throw a skip shot.
Yeah.
And that's the shot.
That's the shot. And I don't know if you noticed there, but I left it in there just so you could see what Alan did. Was he was stepping up to his tee pad, or approaching his line, getting ready to throw, and right as he was getting ready to throw, the sun glare off his disc stamp was really bright and blinding him. So he actually took a handful of pine straw and covered his disc so that the glare wouldn't bother him before he threw.
Duane, he's got a good look to get up and down.
Just turned a little bit more and caught that tree. But he skipped up there. He's still going to have a putt.
He's got about 30 feet. These little trees on this hole are a nightmare if you start getting off the fairway because you're going to go left, right.
You look like you could go straight from where Greg is there, but it's tight.
He's got a window.
He's got a look.
Josh is giving it a...
Oh, just a little high.
Let's see what Peckham can do.
Peckham's in the woods left of the basket.
Bend it like Peckham.
Didn't quite get there.
Beaver from probably 35.
Canned it.
Got it.
Those longer putts, he takes out that Nova, and he really works that Nova from any distance outside the circle. Just cleaning these guys up right here.
So this is a 27 round, or 27 hole round.
27 hole round. So we're on hole 16, but we're just getting good and warmed up. So Greg tapping out there, I believe he saved a bogey on that hole, which isn't a bad score, but it's pretty good still. So Greg's still staying at 2 under, so he's still in good shape, still pushing.
Man, Josh with a 9-stroke lead over AB when they were pretty close coming into the round.
They were pretty close coming in the round. AB took 8 strokes over par on the first 2 holes, but he's only 3 over at this point, so he's still making that push.
This is a cool hole. Lefties, I'm not really sure how a lefty plays this hole. I know as a righty,
Big turnover shot like he just did.
I suppose so. I just throw something stable, something kind of fast, swoop down there, skip, maybe give myself a look at throwing over the creek to get to the island.
Yeah, it does play as a peninsula, not necessarily an island, but you are throwing across the creek, and it's creek long, so it kind of is an island, but it's not really.
There's OB short and there's OB long.
And OB left, so yeah.
And right.
And right. So there's OB everywhere on this hole. But these lefties are definitely doing work here, throwing those turnovers. And that's looking like a great shot. Looks like he caught a little bit of trees there.
Ambitious.
And then Greg's taking the line that most people take on this hole. That nice righty backhand shot here.
Low, stable.
Just needs to hook up a little bit. Yeah, that's going to be...
That's the problem with throwing it low. You're taking a lot of the... It means you don't have to throw it quite as hard, but it does straighten your shot out a lot more.
So he's trying to flex this over the top of those trees there. Kind of gets caught out and falls over to the right-hand side.
That's a fine place to be. If you're gonna miss, at least he's not OB.
And Peckham's actually throwing a grenade there. He's actually playing to the left-hand side of the OB because the OB is just that ditch there. So he's playing to the left of the ditch, trying to get a look from the backside. And Day just laces that and puts it right up on the green. And then Duane is lining up this little forehand turnover shot. He's actually going over the tree. I thought he was going to go under the tree, so I missed this first part.
Interesting.
So he's actually flexing it right in there. And we actually debated, there's a couple trees at the backhand side of the green. Beaver wanted us to leave those when we were doing the course maintenance, and we left them. And that's what Duane hit to stay in bounds. So, Duane, you can thank Alan Beaver for that extra stroke you just saved.
Buy him a beer.
Gave that one a good run. Thought that one was going to go in. So you can't really tell from this angle, but he just barely missed that from across the creek. OB had to put it 25, 30 feet in the air to go over a tree putt.
Josh's got a funky putt. He's got that tree in the way. Still gets it.
Still gets it. Maybe he just needed some odd angle putts to make up for his nice, easy straight putts he was missing earlier.
He needs to be about 40 out.
40 out with an obstructive view, and he's not going to miss it.
That's a good putt by Duane.
Duane hit that little comebacker off that bush. And then Beaver just to clean up. I believe this will be for his 3, right?
I think so. 3 is a fantastic score.
Yes, 3 is a great shot.
2 great shots.
Yeah, 2 great shots with a nice little putt. So, casual rounds, you don't see many people 3 in this hole. You see people 3 in this, or 4 in this one more often than 3. But on this lead card and open, we got 3 3s and 2 4s. So, great scoring by these guys.
Not too bad.
Hole 18 plays as a nice little short downhill. He just needs to fade a little bit at the end. Pretty much you're just playing for a straight shot. Just a touch of left to right fade on the end.
Yeah, you don't want to throw anything too fast or it's going to fade out into the creek.
You don't want to turn too early, otherwise you're going to be in that creek again because the basket's down there, it's to the right, but the creek's also down there to the right.
Thumber looked pretty short.
Yeah, it should be on the green still.
Okay.
Day just turning over this nice little Nova shot, and that's still be really good.
Josh, about Peckham throwing his shot. That tree's maybe 15 feet from the basket.
Yeah, so anything right in that area is where you want to be.
Skip.
Put it a little low, but that's actually, he's throwing that Sexton Firebird there, and it did some work for him. Got him where he's got a putt. He's circle's edge, maybe a little bit out.
It's got a good putt, though. Let's see if we can give it a run. Over the basket.
Duane Dowd did that putt and put it way up in the air.
Josh from a similar distance.
And he makes good.
All day. Duane, let's see how far.
See how much loft he can get on this putt? Calculate that hang time.
Is that no, that tree doesn't look in the way.
Nope. Wow.
Ooh,
Nope.
Just
Wow.
aired it out.
man.
This basket's a little bit shorter, and so it can kind of mess with your head because it sits 8 to 10 inches lower than the rest of the baskets on the course, so it can kind of trick you when you're coming up to putt it.
No, I hit the band on it on the last round.
I tend to putt this one high too. I hit the band here most of the time if I don't make it.
Yep.
If you played 18 holes with the baskets all being in one height, then you get here, and this one's just that 8 to 10 inches makes a big difference for me at least.
Hole 1, this is a pretty cool hole. There's OB left. Shouldn't come into play with these guys, though. You're wanting to throw something kind of low and have it turn, if you're righty, just below those trees.
That's what he did, but he just got
threw
hung up.
his about 10, 15 feet too high. See if AB, he's going to want to probably skip it.
Yeah, he's
towards
playing
the basket.
that low hyzer, power hyzer down in there.
You got some flip, just under those branches. And you skip it on that pine straw right to the basket.
Right to the basket. Great shot.
Peckham.
I think he's throwing a savant is what they were talking about.
Interesting.
So he says he really likes this disc for what he's doing here. Just caught that tree.
That was a great line and just unlucky.
Yeah. So right before the tournament, Duane actually cut his finger, and so when we were coming, this is actually really starting to bother him because he had taped it up, and his tape was starting to come loose, and he was talking about how his finger was actually really hurting him. Right as we're coming into the pro now, where you actually have to throw a lot of power shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes where you're throwing 320 to 400 foot shots.
So Duane actually left his putter when we were transitioning from 18 to 1 or to the back 9 here. So I actually ran back to get his putter, so I missed those approach and putt shots. You can thank Duane Dowd for that.
This is a cool hole. I like to throw, as a righty, a hyzer flip between the light post and the scoreboard and flex it over the OB. I feel like throwing it on the right side, I always hit those trees or fade in early.
I take the same line as what Josh Day did. He just left it a little bit too far right, but he caught the cabbage and actually kicked him back up there where he should have a putt. And then Peckham's actually going mid-range on this shot. This is a huge shot. I'm throwing pretty much full driver, and he's going mid-range over the scoreboard, and it just doesn't stable up enough for him.
Yeah, that's the problem with the mid-range. It's just a little too straight,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to throw it that wide.
Greg throwing the line, but he just didn't get that flip like he needed it to, and he's hyzering right into that OB.
See if Duane can maybe keep his finger from affecting him too much.
So he's actually going to try to take this out over the field too, playing a forehand line turnover right there, but
Turned a little too much.
a little too much turn and just never stabled out for him.
And that's a lot of distance.
Yeah, he lost 100, 200 feet back to where he went OB. Throwing it over, that thumb over, just hitting the tree, and
He's got a look. He's maybe
he should be
40, 45 out. Greg's got a little up. No
a little
problem.
wide, swinging it back in there. Nice little easy shot.
AB, turn that one. Well, that's a good tree. It's
Yeah.
probably a happy little tree.
Tree helped the hyzer back into where it needed to be. Peckham, just a nice little easy pitch up.
That batting cage is OB, so it's a good thing he didn't land on top of it.
Yes, he hit it, and so he kicked back to where he was safe. Josh Day,
Oh, just a
just
little
a-
left, a little high. Great
Little-
look, though.
little am side, but not a bad putt. Duane was
Ooh.
giving that one a little forehand run.
He was going for it. Duane's got a good forehand putt, though. Anywhere inside 30 feet, you can expect him to at least give it a run.
Yeah,
See if he can clean up his 4, 5.
5.
Oh,
Just left that one a little right. That could just be the frustration from the hole getting to him. So, I think he's going to end up taking a 6 on this hole. Is that right?
yep.
Yeah, a 6 on this hole. So everybody else is just going to be cleaning up. So Peckham's just cleaning up his par, and then Greg's going to be cleaning up his bogey because he did go OB, and then double bogey for Duane.
I think this is the hardest par 3 on the course.
Yeah, it's Definitely, I agree with that. As far as par 3 goes in this course, this is one of the hardest holes.
This hole, you've got it's slightly downhill, road, OB, baseball field OB. I think the play here is to throw a stable fairway driver, and keep it on hyzer, go under those branches, and skip left towards the basket, into the hill. Stay away from that road.
Josh is actually going with, I believe, a T-bird here.
That's what I threw.
So something nice, low, got the little skip up towards the basket. It's a great shot.
Yep. Lefties, very different line. Was he throwing? Mid, putter?
He's throwing a mid here. He actually was stepping up to this, and this tee pad actually does go a little bit downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So it's slightly sloped, and it threw him off. And good note, if you get thrown off on your throw, don't keep going through it. Just reset and come back at it.
Yep, take your time. You paid to play.
So he's throwing a turnover line, and he was worried as it's going because there's this gap in the fence there, and he just barely misses the gap. Kisses off the fence and does get a little kick down the hill. So he should have
That's fortunate.
a difficult putt, but a putt.
Yeah, that was not a good shot.
No, it's not what he was trying to do for sure.
Greg.
Lining up the little
That's got a good
right-hand
That's
backhand.
got a good. Come on.
He's around that tree, so he should be inside the circle.
So he is in bounds?
I believe he did stay in bounds,
Okay.
yes.
Duane, he throws this thumber on this hole, and it works, but I'm not a fan.
He does take it out over OB the whole time, but he got it back in. He knows what he's doing, so he's good at that. Peckham's got a low ceiling, obstructed downhill putt, so he's got a weird angle, but he took a knee and gave it a good look. Beaver's got this tree in his way, but he's got his Nova from outside the circle, so he's going to give it a good go. Just left it a little high.
Duane's probably circle's edge. Let's see if we can make it. Nice.
So
Good putt, Duane.
he flirted with the OB the whole way, but he cleaned up his birdie.
You got a birdie. No pictures on the scorecard.
That's right.
Oh, just a little right.
A little right, but Greg wanted that one bad. You can see it's going in there, hyzer angle.
Definitely a putt that could have stayed in, but maybe I wouldn't say it should have stayed in.
But it could have stayed in.
Yeah.
It's one he wanted. And this is actually CTP. They were debating about this one. Josh Day was like looking at who got the CTP because he actually took it from him, but he was like, no, it's one of the AMs. I'm going to let him take it. It was actually Evan who ended up winning rec. So shout out to Evan. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with soon.
Evan who?
Evan, I don't remember his last name. I want to say it's Evan Scott.
Oh, the 10-year-old?
The 10-year-old who won rec men.
He's filthy.
Killed everybody.
Oh, wow.
Duane going with another roller here because his finger is hurting him, so he's not able to put what he would normally do on the shot. But that roller is looking perfect.
Yeah, that looked very strange. This is a tough lefty hole. The basket's tucked in the left. I guess the lefty's just trying to throw a dead straight 370.
Yeah, it was a little turnover is what Allen was trying to do there, and he got it. And it looks like there's a corner that sticks out right down there that he just barely didn't make. So he's gonna be inside a circle, but from the edge of the woods.
Yep. This is a tough two. Especially for a lefty.
Especially for a lefty. Greg's going back with his Firebird here again. He was trying to muscle this one up to make sure he got the skip. Just inside that tree. That looks great. That's what you're looking for on this hole. And so Peckham here, he's probably 50, 60 feet out.
It's a scary run. It's a scary run because it is downhill and there's woods behind it, so you can get in trouble quick if you air it.
He gave it a good bid, left it a little long, but he'll have a little comeback at it.
AB. Come on.
High there. Josh had an obstructed putt from the woods. Just barely missed that one.
Duane doing funny stuff.
With a crazy stride, I'm trying to get a clear look, but just couldn't quite make it work. You see my finger sneaking in on the camera angle there? My bad. So this will be Greg to clean up his two from down in the woods.
Greg.
2 in a row. He just couldn't make them stick. Leaving on a little right. So this is Peckham to clean up his par.
Got it.
And I think that everybody took a par on this hole. Is that right?
Yeah. Our card, Chase card, play this hole 2 or 3 under.
Y'all did work. So just cleaning out here, stepping up hole 5. This is actually one of my favorite holes on the Pro 9. There's a big retention pond in the middle that plays as OB. This year we did open up the straight route a little bit more, so you can see see the pin straight ahead. So these guys are really going to try to push that and go for it on this. It is still labeled as a par 4, but it did get 2 this weekend. So shout out to Ben Gossi, who actually put it up there inside 20 off this drive. So that's a monster.
It's definitely twoable now. It used to be more twoable when the left side was a little bit more open. You could the righty backhand could be swung out a little bit wider.
A little wider, yeah, but that's a tight squeeze now.
Good.
Alan pushed that a little bit righter than you want. He's going to have an awkward approach from there. You really want to be...
As long as you're not OB,
As long as you're not OB.
and you have kind of a look at the basket, you're happy. This is a hole that's not super difficult, but a 2 is next to impossible.
Next to impossible. A 3 still feels like a birdie. A 2 feels like an eagle. Like
a 4 feels like a bogey, though.
A 4 does feel like a bogey. So even though it's still par, a 4 is not what you want to take. You want to get your 3 here. With most of the holes in the Pro 9 playing that way. So Duane's got an awkward look here. He's actually have to go to the right of that oak that's in front of us.
Playing like a hyzer flip kind of thing?
I think that's what he's trying to do here. Just something to get around there and get him up there towards the green.
Yeah, he threw his flippy destroyer.
Caught a little cabbage. Ended up a little deeper than he wanted. So you can see he's got a weird angle here because he's going to have to push the left side over there with that lefty.
Did he follow the maze to get to his lie?
I don't think he followed the maze. I think he cheated and just kind of cut right through it. So he's throwing a turn over there. He just didn't quite keep his turn over. But he's in that ditch. He's got a putt from there. And then Peckham just lacing that lefty forehand and pinning it.
A much easier angle, though, than Allen's.
Much easier. He had a straight look at it. So Josh Day with his drive. He's just got a nice little bit at it. Just a little long. And then Greg, when he straightened out his shot, you can see he puts him in that woods on the left-hand side. He's got a tough out from there.
It did get cleaned up a little bit for the tournament. Just a month ago, he would have not had anything.
He probably wouldn't have been a pitch out from there. So he put it out on it. He should have a putt coming back on it. Duane just trying to get back up to the basket from where he ended up in the woods over there.
Mm-hmm.
And Allen's got awkward footing.
But it's open.
He's inside the circle.
He should hit this.
Just barely bounced it in. Oh, and we got a little freeze frame in there of what clean release looks like. So nice high putt on a hyzer, good footing.
Greg coming back. Oh, Greg. You never want to see that. You never want to see someone struggling with their 20 and in putts.
Yeah, he had a rough stretch there, but let's see if he can't get the wheels back on the bus. Cleaning up his bogey.
He's upset.
Or no, that was actually his par there. His par just felt like a bogey.
With Beaver and Peckham coming in late and taking those strokes, he's wanting to play better than he is.
He's trying to get that push and see if he can get back into better contention.
Mm-hmm. Josh, I think I take that back. Hole 2 is not the hardest par 3 on the course. This is the hardest par 3 on the course.
Okay, this hole looks open, but when you're standing on this tee pad, that hole is not that big, I promise.
There's OB left, there's OB right, there's OB long. It's just...
And that's a tight shot.
You get rollaways. It's just, this hole is wild.
Yeah, the OB here,
that's a great shot.
The basket's sitting on top of a hill, and at the basket, it kind of slopes down towards OB. That's probably, 15, 20 feet past the basket. So going long can get you in trouble, too. So you got to throw it hard, but not too hard.
This is a hole, if you get a par, you're happy.
Exactly. You don't see many birdies on this hole. So Greg's doing what I do pretty much, just taking a forehand, turning it over a little bit, putting it out there in the opening for a nice little approach shot. Duane ended up getting caught up in the short stuff, coming out the tunnel.
Tough up shot.
Yeah.
So he's put it up there.
Throwing a buzz OS. He's got to look if he wants it.
He was hoping for a little skip, and it just kind of caught in that grass. So Greg ended up here. It's a simple approach here, just a nice little hyzer. Make sure you're hitting that hill so you're not going to catch an angle that's going to catch you a roll down that hill.
You got to match the hill's angle, and that's not matching the hill's angle.
It's a little hyzer, but it did what Nova's do and caught the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Beaver just playing that nice little safe approach shot. And then
Peckham's lining this up.
Peckham looks like he's going to go for this one. And he canned it again.
And you see the chase card walking in the background, looking up.
Watching this guy.
We see him drill it, and we're just like, okay, what are you gonna do?
That's why they're on chase card. Duane just seeing Peckham do that, he's like, okay, I can do that. Nope.
Oh, he tried.
He tried. He gave it a good bid. And then Day cleaning up his par, and then Beaver cleaning up his par as well.
You know, we debated letting them putt off before we walked through, but, you know, we were the higher hole, so we had courtesy.
You had courtesy, and you were out of the way. Otherwise, they would have waited till y'all were clear. But y'all were out of the way, and y'all did have courtesy. So it was on this card to wait.
This is a cool hole. It's 400 feet, slightly downhill, just a big, dumb hyzer.
The lefty's a little bit more difficult. They're having to throw this turnover shot. So he actually gets over on this one, gets a turnover, but it actually stalls out a little bit too much. He just carries OB long.
This is a hole. What did he throw? What did he throw there?
I'm not sure what he threw. I think he threw a destroyer, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And Dave's just showing you how the shot should be taken. Just throwing it down there, nice little hyzer, shorter path. He's right where you want to be. He's got a putt. Beaver's playing a smart play on his hole. He knows that this hole can get him in trouble throwing that lefty turnover.
He knows he can't do it.
So he's throwing that nice little layup, get him a nice clean shot down to the basket to take his easy par.
You can see the wind is really bustling.
Yeah, got some good wind coming into this back nine. It was really blowing up here on top of this hill. Especially when you're playing it down this hill, you can get some weird wind action.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looks like it got under it.
Greg threw a great shot here. He's throwing just what Josh did.
Oh, no.
But he caught a nasty skip. Countered and just sailed OB.
Man, that's unlucky.
Duane's actually throwing an epic here. So it gets a nice little barrel roll turnover and just doesn't quite get over the hill like he was wanting to do.
He isn't, as far as epic throwers go, he's probably the best I've ever seen.
He does throw an epic really well. Beaver throwing a nice little upshot. Duane throwing that upside down rhino skip off the road. And this is
about 25 out.
This is where Peckham is from his OB stroke. He actually went OB just past that bridge.
Oh, no.
So he's trying to make this for his 3 save.
Man.
Just cages it.
Peckham, he goes between his AVR and his Nova at whim for putting.
I've noticed that. He was putting with both of them there in this round, I believe. Josh just misses that too.
He gave it a good bid.
He did give it a good bid.
You can't expect to hit that unless you're maybe Ricky.
He was outside the circle, but he gave it a chance. Beaver cleaning up his easy 3, played that hole like he knows what to do there.
He's not losing strokes.
Nope, not to anybody.
He's gaining strokes.
Gaining strokes on Matt, and we'll see how Greg does here. He's putting.
You know he wants to make this one. He's been missing them from this distance.
He's making a circle 3 putt. He actually made the comment. He figured out what he's doing wrong. His discs were out of order in his bag, so he feels like that was what was making him miss his putts. So he fixed the order of his discs in his bag, so he feels like he's back on his routine now.
I love creatures of superstition.
So hole 8 is actually one of my favorite holes, especially in the layout. We're actually playing the C pin. So we moved the tee pad back because it's a more level playing surface. So it does increase this gap you got to hit here.
Get off that.
So you're pretty much playing a straight shot to about a 45-degree turn down to the tunnel.
I think the play on this hole is to finish on that hill, and then you have a nice 250, 270-foot sidearm to the basket.
I agree. Beaver actually turned it a little more right than he wanted to, but he's going to should be in pretty good position. And Greg Cole's doing exactly what you're talking about wanting to do here.
Maybe a little bit too high on the hill.
A little high on the hill.
Maybe a little short on the hill, too.
Mm-hmm. Duane's going his forehand route, and this is what I throw in this hole. He actually turned this a little more than he wanted, but he's about to get really lucky and actually rolls down that hill and puts him right there on the edge of that concrete path, so he has a nice easy. And that's what you don't want to do.
Does Duane have the tight gap?
I'm not sure. I don't remember where he was. Peckham came up there. He actually rolled his ankle there, throwing that roller, and he was really fast, so I missed that shot and his next shot here, too. Josh Day's just trying to get as much distance down this hole as he can because he knows there's another gap. If you get past the initial gap, there's a long gap down there, too.
Mm-hmm.
So Duane ended up in a good spot. There's a tight gap and there's a big gap.
It looks like he's taking the big gap, trying to skip it towards the basket. That's tough to do on these grassy fairways.
Yeah. So
it looks like he just hugged it a little bit.
Yeah, he instead of going the left or the right, he went down the middle where there's a bunch of woods. Peckham again throw another fast roller. I missed it there.
He's upset.
He's frustrated.
He's ready for the round to be over.
The meltdown is definitely becoming a meltdown for him.
Greg's got a good look.
He ended up where you want to be on this hole. So he ended up right in the middle of the sidewalk from his tee shot.
Oh, so he rolled down the hill?
He did roll down the hill, so he's got a nice level playing surface.
That's what I'm
Plays
talking
that
about.
skip shot.
That sidearms sets perfectly up for him.
So Day running that one from probably 100, 150 out. Just a big shot. Gave it a chance.
AB's got a good look on this one. Yep.
Solid. That's where you want to be. Duane was trying to give that one a bid and just got a little over.
You get out of the fairway on this hole, and there's just enough trees that you may not have anything to do.
So Peckham was able to get a nice little roller on that, get it inside the circle.
Good putt, Duane.
Good putt for Duane. Greg, even though he's on the edge of the green here, he's got obstructed. He's fighting with his branches over here. But see if we can't clean this one up. Get his 3 on this hole.
Yes, sir. That's how you got it.
Great 3, Greg. Josh cleaning up his 4. Alan doing the same. And then
4's not a bad score on this hole.
4's not a bad score on this hole. 3 feels great. 4 feels like a par, which it should. It is a par 4.
This is another hole that you really want to place your shot. If you can get it left, just short of the road, you're going to have a better angle at the green that's tucked to the right behind the woods.
So this does play as a par 4. Going up the hill, yeah, like he said, anything on the flat up there. There is a Mando down there on the, just to keep you from going down the walking trail, basically. But
Greg finished in the woods, it looks like.
he's going to be on the edge of the woods up there, but he should be able to save something there. And
That's a fine shot right there from Josh.
what Josh did is exactly what you want to do. You're not reaching this green, more than likely, but where Josh is, where Alan is there, that's a perfect spot. Get you a nice little approach shot to their basket.
One of the guys on my card, Alex Kirby, he threw a sidearm in this hole and was probably only about 60, 70 feet from the basket.
Oh, we saw where he ended up because we picked up his disc as we were walking the fairway because he wanted that.
He was too excited.
Too excited about his great drive. And then Peckham tries to really rip on this one
no.
and turns it, just ties it too much. He hit the Mando tree and kicked back inbounds.
Okay.
And actually ended up in a great spot in the middle of the fairway.
Man,
So-
Duane can shape those thumbers really well.
He does have a really good thumber game. Beaver just throwing that nice controlled hyzer putter down into the basket.
Matched the hill perfectly.
Yeah, so this basket does play downhill, and the road is probably about 15 feet past the basket. So if you catch an edge going down there, you can roll OB very easily
It
here.
looks a little short.
A little short.
It's probably
But-
just going to have a pitch to the basket.
Peckham's in the same position. He knows all he's got to do is just play a nice approach shot. You just have a putt. Day doing the same thing. He got
It's
way
a
down the
little
fairway.
high.
Yeah. A little high, but you can see where the basket is sitting there on a hill, rolling to OB. It's a scary putt, but he caged out, but he gave it a little run.
Duane's got to look if he wants it.
It's just a tough putt looking downhill facing that OB. So that road plays as OB and everything beyond plays as OB as well. So it can be a scary run. And he put it a little too high with that loft putt.
Peckham just cleaning up, ready to go home. He's got to drive back to Rock Hill after this.
So coming down, Josh Day finished there with his par. Not a bad way to end the weekend, and he does end up taking the win home. So congratulations to Josh Day, taking home the win. And that's going to be it for us, and we'll see y'all next year. Thanks.
Later, guys.